All right, welcome back. We are now delighted to be joined once again by His Excellency Ambassador Mohamed Higazy, former Assistant Foreign Minister. Thank you once again, Mr. Ambassador, for joining us.
Pleasure is mine.
Right. Mr. Ambassador, let's talk a bit about, Egypt's relations with the United Emirates. How do you see them as having developed over, the duration of the rule of the late Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan?
First of all, thank you very much for giving me this honor to express feelings and of many Egyptians who saw in Sheikh Khalifa a continuation of the path of his father, Sheikh bin Zayed. I think the family in general have expressed a lot of wisdom and courage in facing challenges, being it economic or developmental or urban revolution almost, that have transformed the United Arab Emirates from Sheikh Zayed bin Nahyan time to his son Sheikh Khalifa. And I'm sure now Crown Prince Mohamed bin Zayed will continue the same path that did not only care for the United Arab Emirates' interests, but also extended its efforts to sustain development and to help other Arab countries and to contribute during his lifetime in bringing in what is good to his people, his region, and to the world. I would like also to say that the wisdom that has been galvanized and added through a generation after another will continue, as from Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan and bin Nahyan, and of course through Sheikh Khalifa to the Crown Prince era that will start. Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed will continue the same relation as strong as it was with Egypt during Sheikh Khalifa and also during Sheikh Zayed bin Al Nahyan, meeting also all the demands of his people and support Egypt among many other Arab countries to attain their goals. Let me also add that Sheikh Khalifa during his era have contributed to the well-being of the United Arab Emirates in many fields, being in the fields of politics, legislation. Even he introduced for the first time to the National Council the election of half of their members, introducing democracy in its best form. And he has also been very keen to motivate cultural life, but he was also the Minister of Treasury, and he was in charge of the Cabinet of Ministers, and he administrated the urban revolution that happened in the Emirates of Abu Dhabi, as well as in the United Arab Emirates. He was also a man of culture who have helped sustaining many successes in the cultural life in the United Arab Emirates and in Egypt, among many Arab countries. They've been always very supportive to what is good to others, and this is the main characteristics of the family
relationship. Yes, indeed. Mr. Ambassador, now on Friday, of course, President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi mourned the death of the Emirati leader and said that he sincerely loved Egypt and was a loyal friend, throughout all the different circumstances that Egypt went through over the last few years or so. Could you tell us a bit about some of the most prominent supporting mechanisms that he did to keep Egypt afloat, for example, during the flotation of the Egyptian pound? Lots of different economic as well support for Egypt during the last years, especially after the revolution.
Sheikh Khalifa, like his father, was very supportive to Egypt. And what has been said in the statement of President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi expresses clearly the heart and mind of all Egyptians. This is how we perceive the United Arab Emirates and its leadership. Sheikh Khalifa, as well as Crown Prince Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, are following, as I said, the steps of their father, Zayed Al Nahyan. And they are all in the same school of searching the benefit, not only to the people, but to the whole. For Egypt, whenever you ask the Emirates for a support. They are always the first and they are always at the front line, being it political support, being it economic support, or any kind of investment and whatever good for the Arab region, for Egypt. I think we are talking about a country that represents a strategic knowledge, a strategic partner to Egypt, a country that represents the good in its true sense, not only to its people, but to the whole world, as well as to Egypt and the Arab countries.
Indeed.
I think what we are facing now is another chapter of the good relationship that existed between Egypt and Emirates, a strategic relation of a meaningful depth that we respected since the establishment in the 70s of the United Arab Emirates, and will continue, inshallah, under the hand of Crown Prince Mohamed bin Zayed Al Nahyan.
Indeed. Your Excellency, a very prominent part of the late Sheikh Khalifa's rule was the use of the Emirati human element and its development of human resources, which was one of the most important features really of his rule. How did this impact on the United Arab Emirates as a state, and how did this national strategy allow the UAE to reach the position that it has today?
I think the United Arab Emirates is not about urban development. It's about the people who have developed this urban revolution, bringing to the admiration of the whole world, and to allow many families at the United Arab Emirates from the Arab world to find in the United Arab Emirates and benefit actually from the strength it gained from the presence of huge community as well as Arab and international partners. All of them can consider the United Arab Emirates as their second home, and that the human resource of the United Arab Emirates being it the people of the Emirates themselves, or who have found the United Arab at their second home, have contributed to the development of the country, and in introducing the model that United Arab are suggesting to the region and to the world. I think your point is very important, and I think it is the key who have sustained the success story of the United Arab Emirates.
Yes, indeed. One final question, Your Excellency, if I may. The Emirates has become one of the most important international tourist destinations during, the late Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan's reign. Tell me a bit about how this achievement was reached, and what are the most important features of this national strategy, in your opinion, sir?
I think Sheikh Khalifa have taken charge of many files that have proven successful during his reign, and has introduced a new dimension to the livelihood and the image of the United Arab Emirates. From a political point of view, his wisdom was clear. His economic and his presence as head of the cabinet, his role in bringing in election, as I said, of half of the members of the National Council, as well as his role as a Minister of Defense, and his role also in the national security of the Emirates, in the oil industry as a Minister of Petroleum, brought many policies that we are now witnessing or materialize on the ground in the United Arab Emirates. Those are the builders. Sheikh Khalifa are among the leaders, builders, who have brought the country to where it belongs today. So this continuation policies, the stabilizing policies that he has established in all the fields to follow up the wise line of his father. Yes. And of course, it will be followed by his brother, Sheikh Mohamed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, will definitely keep the model United Arab Emirates to be followed not only in the Arab region, but also all over the world.
Absolutely. I'd like to thank you very, very much. Your Excellency, Ambassador Mohamed Higazy, former Assistant Foreign Minister. Thank you so much, sir, for your time and your insight. Ladies and gentlemen, a short break, and we'll be right back to continue. Stay tuned.